All right, so let's talk about some reasons why you should not get a loan, a business loan, when you're starting your new business, right? So let's say you're starting a new venture, a new business. It's this idea is fresh, and you wanna get a loan or you wanna get a business loan. Okay, so we're gonna break down some reasons why you should not be getting a loan as in such an early stage of your business. Well, first of all, when it comes to loan is an installment, right? So basically, once you get a business loan, you start making payment on that loan the next month. So let's say you get the loan in July. August, you're going to start making payments. So even if your business hasn't turned a profit yet, or even if your business hasn't even materialized, you have to start making payments on that loan immediately. So that's one thing about a loan, is that you have to have you have to have a plan before you even get that loan, because a loan, as I mentioned, the payment starts immediately. So there's no cooling off period, there's no grace period, there's no 21 days grace period. No, that payment is immediate. The next month, as soon as you get that loan, you have to make that payment. Now, usually with a loan, the payment amount, it's a little bit it's a little bit significant, it's a little bit large, right? So depending on the amount of the loan you got approved for. So if you get approved for $10,000, you might be making $400 of payment every month. So now you have to ask yourself, you making that payment every month, is your business at a position where you can turn a profit within 3 months, right? Because within that 3 months period, you're making monthly payments. You're making payments on that loan, but your business hasn't even turned a profit yet, right? And you're still thinking, you're still conceptualizing, you're still planning, you're still putting that business in motion. So you have to have a plan before you get that loan, right? So that's that's one of the reasons. Another reason why you don't want to get a loan is because in the beginning, usually a lot of businesses or a lot of banks, they're not really going to, they're not going to have faith in you. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to, they think that, because the business is new, what they're going to do is they're going to ask you to be a personal guarantor on that loan. So which means if you get a $10,000 loan, that $10,000 loan now, it's going to show on your business, on your personal credit report. So which means you will start off with a balance of $10,000 that you now have to start paying down, right? So that's the thing about a loan, is that a lot of businesses, especially because it's an idea, it's new, it's going to show up on your credit report, right? It's going to show up on your credit bureau, right? And that's going to impact your overall credit rating. So your utilization on that specific loan is going to be high. It's going to be at 100%. So when you're starting a business, right, I talked about top 10 ways to to fund your business, right? One of the ways that you can do it is this, right? If you have some savings aside, you can use some of that savings to get your business in motion, right? Get your business up and running. Or if you're working, right, when you're getting paid every 2 weeks, take a percentage of your paycheck, put it in your business while you're building it. Why? Because in the beginning, as I mentioned, especially if it's a brand new business, right, you need a lot of time to conceptualize that business, to materialize it, to basically, because it's just an idea. There's no proof of concept in that idea, right? You're still, thinking about it. You haven't even marketed the business yet. You haven't even acquired your first customer yet. So you're still in the infancy phase. You're still in the in the idea planning phase. So therefore, when you get a loan, you have to make payments on it immediately. And when you're starting a new business, you're still thinking about it. You're still thinking about marketing. You're still thinking about what you're going to do now, right? That's not an ideal phase to get that loan, right? Now, instead of getting an installment loan, what you can do is you might want to get a revolving credit, or revolving account. A revolving credit is like a credit card, right? A revolving credit is like a line of credit, right? So now, how does a revolving credit work? Well, so just like a credit card, right? You have a credit limit, say it's $5,000. You use $1,000. The interest rate is at, let's say, 19.9%, so 20%. You only get charged on what you use. So if you only use let's say $1,000, then you're only getting charged you're only getting charged on that $1,000, right? That's what you call well, one of the reasons why it's revolving is because whatever amount that you use, if you pay it back, you can reuse that same amount again, right? So with the line of credit, with a credit card, if you have $5,000, you use $1,000, now you have $4,000 of available credit, right? If you pay back that $1,000, now you're back to $5,000, so you can now start using again the full available credit. On the other hand, compared to an installment loan, once you get a loan for $5,000, whatever amount that you use, if you use $1,000, now you're only left with $4,000, right? That $1,000 that you use, it's not revolving anymore, so you can't pay that $1,000 back and then have a full $5,000. No, it doesn't work like that with an installment loan, because an installment loan, you're given a check, or the money's deposited in your account. It's basically once you use any portion of it, whether you use $100, whether you use $2,000, well, that $2,000 is gone, all right? Even if you try to pay back that you can't repay back that full that $200, and then you're not going to get the full available credit. So it's very important that you understand this concept between installment loan and revolving credit when you're starting your new venture, when you're starting a new business, right? Because depending on what type of funding that you get, it can be detrimental to you, to your business, because your business is not ready to take that type of funding. Your business is not ready, or you're not ready to take that type of funding, just based on the amount of the payment amount that you have to make every month, right? So installment loan, right, it's for one-time use once you get it. So let's say if you get it $5,000, if you spend that full $3,000 all in one shot, or that full $5,000 in one shot, well, that $5,000 is gone. So now it becomes a payment only account, so you cannot reuse that $5,000 anymore. That $5,000 is gone. So that's why it's very, very, very important that you understand the concept of installment loan and revolving credit. So revolving credit is line of credit, credit cards, overdraft, anything that revolves, meaning that, right, whatever, if you use a portion of that credit, so if it's $1,000 credit card, if you use $500, you still have $500 that's available. If you pay back that $500, now you have your full $500 that's available, right? So something to think about when you're starting your new business, when you're starting your new venture, when you're starting your new project, right? Should you go for an installment loan? Should you go for revolving credit? Or should you just try to grind it out, try to just work it out, try to use whatever funding that you have? If you have some personal funding, you can use that. Some personal saving, you can use some of your paycheck, put it in your business and start working it, because in the beginning, as I said, your business is new, so there's no proof of concept yet, right? You're still building it, you're still thinking about it, you're thinking about the business model, you're thinking about the revenue model, you're thinking about the sales strategy, you're thinking about the customer acquisition strategy, you're thinking about your marketing strategy. So you're still thinking in the beginning, right? You're not making any profit, there's no revenue coming in, there's no activities in your business. It's all in the planning phase. So while you're planning, you want to have the peace of mind of knowing that, okay, you know what, I'm working on this, there's no payments that I have to make yet. So that's why you don't want to take on any funding in the early stages of your business, right? Because it could be stressful to you as a business, as an entrepreneur, because you're focusing on your business is not making any money, because you're still trying to figure out what business model you're going to use, and while you're figuring out what business model you use, you took on a loan and you're making a monthly payment on the loan on the business that's not turning any profit yet. So you got to be careful, you got to be wise, you got to think about it first, right? In the early stages of your business, you don't want to just go out and start getting some funding just like that, or start getting some business, especially business loan. You don't want to get up, you do not want to get a business loan in the beginning, because with a business loan, once you get it, the next month, you get it in July, August, you start making payments on that business, on that loan. Even if you make a profit, even if you get a customer, even if your business is closed, even if your business is not it's not operational, you still have to make payments on that installment loan, right? So something to think about, right? In the early stage, as I mentioned, right, the best way is try to use, if you're working, try to use the proceeds, try to use some of the funding, or some of the take a portion of your paycheck and put it towards building your business, right? If you have some savings aside, don't use all your savings, but just use a portion of it to get your business started, right? So you might just need it for marketing purposes, for sales, for advertising. You might just need it for for a prototype to build a website. So that's why you don't really need that much of funding in the beginning to get your business up and running, right? Because in the beginning, you're trying to create proof of concept to figure out if this business is going to work. You're trying to figure out your business model. You're trying to figure out your revenue model. You're trying to figure out your marketing strategy and so on. So in the beginning, there's a lot of strategic work that's involved. So you don't really need the capital yet. You just need to figure out first what path your business is going to take, because you're still trying to figure out yourself, your personality, you're trying to figure out your skill set, you're trying to figure out, where your business fits in the in the marketplace, in the ecosystem. So that's why it's important that something to think about, that you don't get into getting too much funding that will end up getting you in debt, right? So, and also with revolving credit, because it's revolving, if you don't have any discipline, don't use it, because revolving credit cards, lines of credit, you need to have a level of discipline. You got to know what you're going to use that credit for, right? You got to know how you're going to make that credit for you. So until then, I'm going to give out some more information to help you in your business, to help you in your business marketing, and so on. So